Hi everyone, I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window. I am so thankful you took the time and wanted to quilt with me. What a wonderful project that hangs behind me called Viewpoint. This was our pattern of the week this week, and I am so excited to show you how I make a block for this wonderful quilt. This quilt is layer cake friendly. What that means, any 10-inch squares could work perfect for this quilt. We have a value of dark and light. So for today, I have chose 2 layer cakes that we have available in our studio. We have a light one from our signature style and one of my favorites, olive branch. It gives me so many beautiful, wonderful pieces. Those 2 layer cakes could be wonderful if you would like to for this quilt. Let's see what else we have in our quilting basket today. I have a pattern called Viewpoint. In the pattern you have all the directions how to make the quilt, the blocks, everything that you need, including the templates. There are paper templates in the pattern. I also in my quilting basket have put the acrylic templates. If you're making just a few blocks, paper templates would work great. But if you're planning to make a whole quilt, those acrylic templates would be wonderful for you. I have included in our sewing basket a beautiful best press. This is gonna be great to press your fabric before cutting. This quilt, sometimes when you're cutting your pieces, you have no control where the bias edges are going. So it's very important that your fabric has a little bit more stiffness so those edges are not pulling apart and creating a low wave. So best press going right next to us. I also, as usual, have my favorite Orifil thread, weight 50. It's gonna be perfect for sewing. 2312, wonderful, wonderful color. We're sewing light to dark, so we're matching our thread to the lighter fabric. I have a blue fabric marker because I'm gonna be marking points where I'm gonna be sewing, as well as I have a Macrotex needle. Remember, every time you want your results to look great, put a fresh needle into your sewing machine. Wonderful. I'm gonna keep the templates right next to me, put the other things to the side, and begin by just working with my fabrics. Like I said, we're gonna be working with layer cakes. Those squares are 10-inch. We're gonna open a layer cake. We're gonna take the fabric, flip it wrong side up, and with a gentle spray, with a best press, we're gonna add a little stiffness to our fabric. So spray it, wait few seconds, and then with a nice warm iron, press your fabric. As soon as you finish pressing your fabric, you're gonna go ahead, grab a ruler and a rotary and cut each square exactly in half. Exactly in half, you will get 2 half square triangle. When I cut my half square triangles, I'm not only matching point and point, I'm also looking at this 45-degree line on my ruler from Creative Grids and match this line with the edge of your square. So that way when you cut it, everything looks wonderful. Yes, let me just double cut it. I want to make sure, yep, cut it, beautiful. Now we are ready to start cutting with our templates. As soon as I finish cutting my squares, I'm gonna keep them right side up and I'm gonna layer them one on the top of the other, just like this. Why not? I can cut as many as 4 layers of fabric at once. I'm gonna open my templates and now following my pattern, I'm gonna look at the shape and I'm gonna position my shapes just like the pattern. Position my shapes just like the pattern. I'm gonna turn this. I'm gonna bring that picture closer to you. So notice it how I'm paying attention that all my templates are laying just like the pattern tells me. That's very important. If you flip your templates and cut it the wrong way, you're gonna reverse it and your colors are not going to be floating and spinning on your quilt. So very important, follow that first step. As soon as I do that, I'm gonna go ahead, grab my rotary, and with a gentle cut, I'm gonna cut it all the way around. I'm gonna start up with this piece, cut it, And this rotating board, it is wonderful. I tell you, I don't know what would I do without it, because I don't want to be crossing my hands as I'm cutting my pieces. And look, my first piece beautifully cut. Let's cut our second piece just to show you how fun and quick this is happening. Oh, this rotating board, I'm telling you, if you have not purchased something fun this summer for yourself, make sure you get one of those boards. And our last piece, let me move this one out of the way, the template and the piece. Oh, there is a low thread holding on. You know, sometimes some of those low threads just want to hold down to it. Do you have that happen to you? It's only me? No, you're kidding me. It's only me. What? I better get a new blade for my rotary, because that's probably what's happening. Oh, now, nice. We just finished cutting all our pieces. Let's clean this up. And now notice it. I have my piece A, B, and C. All right. So I just finished cutting my blue pieces. Now I'm gonna do the same thing and cut my light pieces. I already went ahead, took a square, cut my square in half. I have my half square triangle now. Now I'm gonna match it up to the picture. I'm looking at my picture, so look at it. My picture is right here. So I'm gonna look at my picture, make sure I'm gonna rotate this so this picture is the same. And I'm gonna go ahead and pay attention and place my templates. Notice it, I'm reversing the templates. I'm flipping it and matching. And on your picture it says AR, reverse, A, regular. So you need to go ahead and flip it this way, just like this. Wherever you did it on a blue, you need to do the opposite on the light. And now, once you have your pieces laid out, you're gonna go ahead and cut it. Once you have all your pieces cut, we're now gonna go ahead and lay out our block. I am so excited. This is just a quarter of the block. So follow the pattern. You want a point that it's nice and blue. That's your point C. Then you have a light B. Then you have another A that it's blue right there. Let me lay this right here so you guys can see it. Then we're gonna go ahead and do a light in A, blue in B, and another C that it's light. All right, this is a quarter of a block. This is going to be a quarter of a block. And now I'm going to go ahead and sew my pieces together. I'm going to go ahead and start with that C, place it right over B, just like this. And you have to be careful and make sure you're not pulling on the edges right here, because this side has a low bias edge, this has a straight grain edge, and right there we don't want to be pulling on it. We want to nicely center it up, this piece C on the top of a piece B. Look at what I did. We're gonna go ahead and grab a pin, put the pin right there in the middle. We can also use this wonderful template. We need the template right there. Place it right over, and now match and match, and now stitch right through this. So wonderful. This is gonna be great. So right there, as soon as I finish stitching, I would go ahead, open it up, and I would go ahead and match this side. And I'm doing the same thing, centered up, really nice. You can either use the templates and the connect dots right there. So remember, this one has to connect with this one, so I could have marked this, or simply just center it up. Notice a 1/4 inch overlap, stitch beautifully, open it up, looks wonderful. All right, so this together, the same right here. If you have ever difficulty finding the middle, always make sure you crease your little piece. This is the middle. Crease your little piece. This is the middle. Match the crease, crease to crease. Again, use a little pin right through it, sew it. Wonderful. Let me show you how this look. This is gonna be wonderful. So I have finished up this side, and I'm gonna push my seam allowances this seam allowance goes towards the dark. This is really important because we wanted the seams to lock for us. And as soon as I finish, I finger press gently like this. This is great. Now I'm gonna go ahead, do the same thing right here, but this time I'm pushing towards the dark, what it's the centerpiece B. So look at this, was just finished sewing, and chain sewing would be great if you're doing a lot of the pieces for a block. And I'm gonna go ahead, did you see how I finger press? Use my little tool and press it. Why am I not using an iron right now and press this? I'm a little bit worried about this area to stretch and pull with the heat. So finger pressing, only putting pressure on the seam, very important for me. And now notice it, I have my one side, the other side, side A, side B. I'm gonna go ahead now, place them right sides together. I love how this feel because my seams are locking so nice right here. I'm gonna put a pin, I'm gonna put a pin right in this area. Wonderful. And I'm gonna start stitching from the top, zoom, 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 all the way down. Super. As soon as I finish, look, it is wonderful. I sewed one, then I'm gonna go ahead and make another one. Look at, they're all the same. All the blocks are gonna be the same. See where the lights are to keep that low rotation. And now as soon as I finish 4 of them, I can go ahead and lay out my wonderful block just like this. Oh, look at that, how amazing. Now next step, I'm gonna take this, place it right over, match, pin it, the seams are locking, I sew it. Then I'm gonna go ahead, do the same right here, open it up. And something I want to step back for one moment. When you finish your block, make sure push your seam allowance in the same direction on all of your blocks. Notice it, all the blocks, this seam allowance is pushed in the same direction. Why am I doing this? Because when I place my quarter of the blocks together, not only locking here is important and pinning, but also that my point right here locks it really, really nice. Once I finish sewing, I'm gonna go ahead and with a pair of scissors, clip those bunny ears. So important. It's just like making an 8-point star. Clip those bunny ears, open it up. Now you have 2 halves together. You're gonna go ahead and sew the 2 halves together, and again all the seams gonna be locking. Make sure you put your pin in it, and you have just finished a first block called Viewpoint. If you would like to, you can add another little detail. Notice that as soon as I finish my block, I have added a little circle detail for the center. And you're gonna ask me where I got the circle from. I use this pattern on my templates to draw the paper circle. Then this one, I cut it and draw it out of the fabric. And then I wrap the edges around it and applique over the center. And to learn more about the applique, please visit our video called Da Da Da. I have made amazing video for you for a circle quilt, and this one would be perfect to watch it and learn how do you want to applique the tiny little circle. If you don't want to, you don't have to add that little detail of a circle in the center. I did it, I thought it would be cute and fun, so it's an optional. As soon as you finish your block, you can go ahead and place this block into the beautiful quilt. I sew my blocks into rows, then sew my rows together, quilted it, added a binding. But I can tell you're looking for something exciting and what else can I do with this block? So I brought for you something fun. This one is also made from that same pattern. But notice what you can do when you start changing the colors and just focus to put a nice colors right down here. Kept all your pieces A, all nice and light. Then in the center, your pieces C are light and a low yellow as an little accent. Isn't that beautiful? I can't wait to make more of those and create a beautiful beach quilt for this summer so I can go out and enjoy it out there for a little beach picnic. Thank you so much for quilting with me today. I had so much fun making the Viewpoint quilt with you. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our website at laundrybasketquilts.com. Happy quilting!